5 habits that changed my life in 1 week. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that the gap between who they are and who they want to become is not as wide as they once imagined. It's often just a handful of daily habits that create the separation between a life that feels stagnant and a life that begins to rise. When people talk about change, they imagine something big and dramatic, but the truth is that transformation begins with tiny, consistent decisions that seem almost too small to matter until they start shaping everything. Today, I want to share with you the 5 habits that changed my life in just 1 week. Not in 1 year, not in 1 decade, but in 7 simple days where I finally decided to take control of my time, my mindset, and my direction. These habits didn't require money, they didn't require talent, and they didn't require permission from anyone. They only required discipline, honesty, and a real desire to build a stronger future. Habit 1: waking up with intention instead of urgency. For years, I woke up reacting to life. The alarm rang and I jumped into the day with stress, rushing, and pressure. But 1 week, I decided to change just one small thing. Instead of waking up in a hurry, I woke up with intention. That meant rising 30 minutes earlier than usual, sitting in silence, breathing deeply, and asking myself one simple question: what do I want from this day? That shift changed everything. I wasn't dragged into the day anymore. I stepped into it with clarity. I wasn't reacting, I was leading. When you wake up with intention, your mind becomes calm, your decisions improve, and you begin to move with purpose instead of panic. 1 week of intentional mornings reminded me that the day is your servant, not your master. Habit 20: taking responsibility for every thought. The second habit was taking responsibility for the conversations happening inside my mind. Most people let their thoughts run wild, and then they wonder why their life feels chaotic. For 1 week, I became the gatekeeper of my mind. Whenever a negative thought appeared, whether it was fear, doubt, or self-blame, I didn't let it sit there. I challenged it. I replaced it with something that lifted me instead of limiting me. Suddenly, I realized that the body follows the mind, the day follows the thoughts, and the future follows the beliefs you allow to live inside you. In 7 days, my confidence rose, my energy increased, and my attitude shifted from "I hope things get better" to "I will make things better." Because when you take charge of your thoughts, you take charge of your life. Habit 3: protecting my time like it was gold. Most people lose their life in small, unnoticed moments. Scrolling, drifting, wasting minutes that eventually become hours. But in 1 week, I treated my time like it was gold. I wrote down everything that mattered and cut out everything that drained me. I learned that success isn't built on the hours you work. It's built on the hours you protect. I said no to distractions. I said no to drama. I said no to anything that didn't align with the future I wanted. And the moment I did that, I felt lighter, sharper, and more alive. My productivity doubled, not because I did more, but because I stopped doing what didn't matter. When you protect your time, your life stops leaking energy and you start building momentum. Habit 4: doing one hard thing every day. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from challenge. So in 1 week, I promised myself that every single day I would do one thing that felt uncomfortable. Some days it was exercising even when I didn't feel like it. Some days it was having a difficult conversation. Some days it was choosing discipline over excuses. And every time I finished that one hard thing, I could feel myself becoming stronger, more resilient, and more capable. After 7 days, I realized that confidence is not built by avoiding challenges, it's built by facing them. You start to trust yourself, you start to believe in your own capacity. And once you trust yourself, nothing feels impossible anymore. Habit 50: ending every day with reflection, not regret. The final habit was taking the last 10 minutes of each day to reflect, not complain, not overthink, but reflect. I asked myself what I did well, what I could improve, and what I learned. That simple nightly ritual turned every mistake into wisdom, every success into motivation, and every day into a step forward instead of a step wasted. Reflection turns your life into a teacher. It helps you grow faster than you ever thought possible. After 1 week of reflection, I wasn't the same person anymore because I was living with awareness instead of autopilot. And my friend, these 5 habits, simple, small, but powerful, showed me that change doesn't wait for a perfect moment, a new year, or a fresh start. Change begins the moment you decide that your future deserves more effort than your excuses. 1 week is enough to shift your direction. 1 week is enough to build momentum. 1 week is enough to awaken the person you were always meant to become. If you begin today, your life will not only improve, it will transform.